Hello and welcome everyone. It is Thursday, May 9th, 2019. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week. And we had some good stuff out this week. Boy, there was a ton of first appearances this week. It was a lighter week volume-wise, but there was just a lot of really good stuff. So we'll get into that shortly. I just want to take a real quick second to thank you all for watching my channels, sending me comments, sending me tips on books. You're all awesome. Love it. So thank you so much. We'll get into the books pretty quick. I don't have a comic shop shout out today. I'm doing this kind of late at night Thursday here, so I didn't have a lot of time to dig into comic shops and stuff, but I will get back into that on my next video. But yeah, we'll get into my books. So for independents, I grabbed from Red 5 Comics, I got Afterburn. Crossfire is #1 is of a new 4-part story called Crossfire. I really like Red 5 Comics. It's got some good stuff. They're low print runs and they're good comics. And Afterburn's been picked up already. They're making a movie with Tom Berenger, so looking forward to that one. And as I mentioned, I've been buying Ice Cream Man all the way through. I got both cover A and cover B. I really like cover B on this one. It's a nice looking cover. I haven't read that one. That's one I'm going to sit down probably tomorrow and read. That's really like Ice Cream Man though. Can't wait for that show to come out. So that's all I got from independents. I didn't get a whole ton from them. There was a couple books I wanted, but my shop didn't have them all, so that's what I got. From DC, I got Flash #70, Year 1. I am going to show an image in here, so if you don't want to see it, skip ahead. But he basically travels to the future and he comes across Old Man Flash. So you get kind of your first appearance of Old Man Flash in there, which is kind of cool. Seems to be the running theme in pretty much all the books. I mean, you got Old Man Joker and you got all the, Old Man Bane and all the other ones they've had in Old Lady Harley and stuff. So why not Old Man Flash? So we got him now. I picked up Batman Who Laughs, cover A. I wasn't a big fan of cover B. I know a lot of people like that one. I don't know. I didn't like it very much, so I didn't grab it. A big one this week was Detective Comics 1003. I got 3 copies of that one, just because you learn the identity of who is behind the mask of Arkham Knight, and it is a brand new character, so that is first full appearance of that new character is in this book. I mean, I know Arkham Knight's been in the comics all, through from 1000 on, but it's your first full appearance of that new character with that mask off and everything. So it's kind of cool that it is a whole new character. I really like that. So that's a good one to get. If you didn't get Detective Comics 1003, you want to pick that one up. And one of my, this Batman Outsider, this was really good. I really enjoyed this. Brian Hill did a run with Detective Comics 983 to 987. I mentioned it in my top picks video. And it was on the outside was the name of the story arc, and it dealt with a lot of these characters. So this is your first. There's been a couple outsider teams, so this is a whole new team. And there's 2 new characters introduced in here. I'm not gonna, if you haven't, just because it just came out yesterday, I picked up 3 copies of cover A. That's the cover I would get if you're going to get it, because you got the team appearance on the cover. And I prefer, to be honest, for most, unless it's cover B is a nice cover, but I stick with cover A's for the most part, because long term, those are your best bets. But anyways, 2 new characters in here. One is named Sophie, and she's a metahuman, and she's got kind of like superpowers and stuff. The more pain she feels, the stronger she gets. And it's her first full appearance in here. And then there's a new character on the last page that's introduced who will be, sounds like he's a time traveler kind of dude. So he made a first appearance on the last page. Most likely next issue will be first full appearance of him. Ishmael is his name. I really liked Brian Hill's writing for the Detective Comics run he did. And this is a carryover that. And Karma, who showed up in 983 to 987 as the villain, there's kind of a flashback of him in a couple pages in here. I really like that character as well. So this is it's just kind of a carryover. It flows really, really nice. It's not, pages aren't cluttered with a bunch of word bubbles and everything else. It's just a really good story. I really liked it. That was my, I wasn't expecting to be quite as good as it was. I highly suggest you pick that one up if you didn't get it, because like I say, that Sophie character, man, I get a feeling like she's going to be going places. So that's a really good one to get. I really enjoyed that. I think I've said that about 4 times now. Anyways, that's a good one. Get Batman and the Outsiders if you don't have it. For Marvel, I picked up War of the Realms Journey into Mystery. That's part 2, and that's got baby Odin's daughter in there. Not a ton happened in that one, but you see she's got some powers. Right at the end of the book, she's got some powers which show up. So picked up Symbiote Spider-Man number 2. And there is a new character that shows up in here. He doesn't, it looks like he dies in the, anyways, I'll let you read it, but anyway, spoiler alert. Conan the Barbarian number 6, another awesome Esad Ribic cover. And it's cool that on the cover, this one you got the Crimson Witch and those 2 creepy kids. And again, right at the end of the book, it seems like every one of these books, the last couple pages deal with those characters. They're kind of dragging out the whole Crimson Witch story, but for me, that's what this whole book is about. Is this part of it? I mean, every issue, Conan's going around chopping people up and everything, but that to me is what this is about, that Crimson Witch. So I picked up a bunch of copies of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. And people were saying that a lot of theirs were damaged, and I do have some minor creases. They're not like color break or anything on the cover on a couple of them. That one's pretty good. I mean, it's still a little bit there. It's not creased. It's more like a wrinkle. So I don't know if it was just poor paper they used or wherever they got them made, but. Anyway, Spider Bite does show up in this. It's not it's not quite what I was expecting. I thought it might be the spider that Spider-Man talked to in Doctor Strange 390, but it's anyways, I'll let you read it. So I got 3 copies of cover A, and I got 1 of the Battle Line, or the I don't think it's a Battle Lines variant, but I like that cover. Anyways, cover B. And one comic you really need to get is War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas. I was talking in my shop, the War of the Realms, all the tie-ins, I mean, there's literally so many tie-ins that they're not selling all that well, because I think there's just too many, because people just aren't going to spend the money to buy them all. But mixed in amongst a lot of them are some really good ones. War Scrolls was a really good one. That's one I really think you need to get. And this New Agents of Atlas is really good, because this one, there's just so many first appearances in this. It reminds me a lot of Young Avengers. If you remember Young Avengers number 1, there's just a ton of new characters introduced, and this is kind of the same thing. There's like 5 or 6, I can't remember how many there are exactly, but there's a whole bunch of new characters in here, so definitely want to get it. I grabbed 4 copies of cover A, and I do have the image on the screen. You'll see I got 2 copies of the Wave exclusive cover coming. It's in the mail, but I haven't got it yet. When I get them, I'll show you, but I ordered those before, as soon as they came available for pre-order, so I got them for like I think they were asking $20 each, and now they're like over $100, so I'm glad I ordered them when I did. So that's it for my books this week. Like I say, it was kind of a light week for me, but I got a couple things I want to talk about. Walking Dead 192, Robert Kirkman just tweeted out today, 191 was kind of a key issue, which I didn't get. But 192, he just tweeted out, 192 is oversized at 30 pages of story, so it is a big issue, and he bolded and capitalized big, so it's a big issue, and he says not just because of the page count. So obviously the next issue of Walking Dead 190, which is 192, comes out June 5th. That sounds like it's going to have some important stuff happening in it. I've already pre-ordered a couple copies of that one, so that looks to be a good one. This is kind of a friendly reminder. I know I've talked about these a couple times. I've put them on Instagram. Is Venom number 7 is your first appearance of Dylan Brock. Kind of more of a cameo, or he's in one panel kind of thing. And then number 9 is first full appearance. I know you guys all know that, but it's just a friendly reminder that if you don't have these, try to pick up a copy, because they're still pretty reasonable. And the reason for that is today Donny Cates just tweeted out about Dylan Brock. And he was talking about how he's having some mind block about writing and stuff. And then he says, unrelated, Dylan Brock is a badass. A single line that Dylan Brock is a badass. There's something coming with Dylan Brock, and Donny Cates is back on the Venom title starting with issue number 16. So expect some big stuff coming down the road. Like I say, if you don't have these, they've kind of cooled off a little bit because they were kind of hot there for a while. I think people have moved. That's the thing. If you wait a little bit, people tend to forget about them if nothing big happens. If you haven't got those, try to pick them up because something is coming. That's all I got to say about that. So I don't want to beat it to death, but it's a friendly reminder because, man, once it takes off and something happens, you're going to regret it if you don't have them. And because of New Agents of Atlas, they're part of the team. To me, this is a big deal. I know it may not seem like it, but the Marvel is definitely expanding their horizons. The Asian market is huge. It's one of the biggest for their movies too. It's massive when it comes to movies. So they're definitely expanding their Asian content, especially in their comics, and that's what this whole New Agents. That's a lot of the Asian content in here. And Amadeus Cho is a big part of that. Now he became Brawn in Champions number 22. So up until that point, he was Totally Awesome Hulk. So in this issue, he became Brawn. And, you got a new, it's a cover appearance of him as Brawn with his new outfit and the whole bit, his new look. You also got new armor for Ironheart in that issue as well. It's a really good issue to get. This one is pretty cheap at the moment. So if you haven't got Champions 22, I'd recommend picking it up because going forward, I mean, the Immortal Hulk and Bruce Banner, the Hulk is pegged kind of in that area. Is Amadeus Cho as a Hulk that didn't work out. So, but him as Brawn is the way it's going to be going forward. So this is one you're going to want to get. That's a really good book. And I have to give a shout out to one of my Instagram followers. I'm not going to say the whole name, but it's FM Comics. You can fill in the blanks. But we were chatting about Amadeus Cho earlier this evening, and I was like, yeah, man, that's a really good. You're going to want to get that one. If you haven't got that, get that one. And I just want to talk about Avengers Free Comic Book Day real quick. I didn't have a chance to. I read the Savage Avengers part of it, and it's kind of funny because there's this one page in the Avengers story near the beginning. You've got Thor. I think it's Thor. Anyways, it says, I mean, they're calling him Thor, but to me that looks like Beta Ray Bill, who's merged with a Brood. Or it's either Thor who's become the Brood, but it's kind of funny that you got, and all it says is all will be Brood, all will serve the Brood Queen. I don't know what it means or if it means anything at all, but it just is interesting. It's almost like one of those warped characters that we had with all the Infinity Warps and everything else. So just kind of cool. I didn't notice that when I read it the first time. And last thing I want to finish off with is Marvel released a whole bunch of combinations of artists and writers and stuff today. And Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw are hooking back up together, and they were behind God Country and Thanos, that whole Thanos Wins run, which was really good. Jeff Shaw is a really good artist. So I don't know what they're hooking up on, if it's going to be a whole new different title or characters or what it is, but somebody was mentioning to me that Stegman may be sticking with Absolute Carnage and a different artist may be taking over on Venom for a while. I don't know if that's the case. I'll try and confirm that by my next video, but if it's Jeff Shaw, that'd be great because Jeff Shaw is an awesome artist and he's worked really well with Donny Cates, so Venom looks to be really good going forward down the road. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. It's a little late. It's Thursday night. You probably won't get this till Friday morning unless you're staying up late like me. So anyways, folks, I will talk to you late on the weekend with my top picks video. Boy, next week's going to be a big one. Your wallet's going to be hurting a little bit next week. I know mine will be. So take care, everyone. Happy hunting out there, and try to pick up this Champions 22 if you can find it. You should be able to find that in the back issue bins. It's one of those ones that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to. And just real quick, the print run on these was not very big because Champions is not like a super huge book. But they're really pushing the Asian content, so try to pick that one up. Anyways, take care, everyone. Happy hunting. Bye for now.